Hey guys, it's Destiny, and today we're going to be going over the second character reveal of version 3.6, which I would love to know out of all the characters that have been revealed, which one is personally your favorite? Which character do you think you're personally going to be pulling for? Also, if you do enjoy videos like these, do make sure to subscribe, leave a like to support the video. And real quick, before we get into today's video, I wanted to show you all a way to get cheaper Oneric shards, and also I wanted to say thank you to Loot Bar for sponsoring today's video. Loot Bar is a website where you can purchase Oneric shards at a discount, and all you have to do is provide your Star Rail UID, pick the pack you want to purchase, and boom! Within a few minutes, you'll see the Oneric shards within your account. I've actually been using Loot Bar for a while now to get discounted Oneric shards for my summons, and my friends have also gifted me Oneric shards through Loot Bar as well. And not only that, if you also play Genshin Impact, Wuthering Waves, Zenless Zone Zero, you can also get discounted currency for those games on Loot Bar as well. Loot Bar has great reviews from users. You can check out Loot Bar using my link in the description down below or my pinned comment. And now let's carry on with today's video. Alrighty, so we are going to be going over the next character reveal. Yesterday we made a video on Evernight, and now we have the new Dan Heng, which is not too surprising that he was the next reveal, as we did get that little teaser for version 3.5, which did show off Evernight in the teaser. And now we have the official reveal here for Dan Heng, which Dan Heng was also in the 3.5 teaser trailer as well. Really cool trailer in my opinion. I definitely enjoyed it. And as we can see, Dan Heng will be a physical preservation character. We are finally getting a preservation character again after so long. Our last preservation character that released that was also a limited character was Evernight, so that was quite a long time ago. It has been, I believe it's been about a year at this point, or even longer. Yeah, no, I think it's actually been longer since Evernight has been released. So a year later, we are finally getting a new preservation character. And it does make me wonder why they haven't really released too many preservation characters. It might be them trying to figure out what they fully want to do with the path in order to make it a bit more competitive with the other sustained characters. So in the case of our abundance characters, we of course have Huohuo, which Huohuo is actually doing very, very well, even all these patches later. Her ultimate is just very useful when it comes to all of the energy she's able to give allies, especially allies that have higher energy costs, in the case of Saber, of Egalaya, and so on. So Huohuo has been holding up very well when it comes to just her overall sustaining capabilities, just her value, I would say. Lingsha is also doing pretty decently as well as also Gallagher. We have all of these abundance characters that are doing very nicely. And when it comes to Remembrance, we now have Hysilens, which Hysilens is easily one of the best sustains currently in the game. So at that point, where does it leave preservation? Evernight is still a very nice unit. And when it comes to the rest of the preservation characters, I would say they're okay for the most part. They're not on par though, I would say, when it comes to comparing them to our top tier abundance characters, or even in the case of Hysilens. So now we have Dan Heng, which I think he personally looks pretty cool. I've seen a lot of people debate whether or not they like this outfit. Some do think it's a little bit too simple, or rather that he looks pretty much the same. I do think they definitely went the more simplistic route with this outfit, but I still personally like it. I do think the colors look very nice on him. I don't know, I kind of feel like the simplistic nature kind of fits him, just maybe based off his personality, in my personal opinion. But I do like just the dragon that's behind him, of course. We also have this bird that's right next to him as well, and then, you know, the tail. I personally like the design, and I'd love to know just how you guys feel about it. Do you guys feel like they should have done more? And if they should have done more, what should they have changed about this design? I think what I honestly care about more is just what is his kit? Which, being a preservation character, more than likely, of course, he's going to have some shields in his kit. But it really comes down to what his kit will entail, what certain synergies he will have that nicely suit with other characters, especially our more recent characters. For example, let's say he ends up working out really nicely with some of our new damage dealers that we've been getting. That could be really nice right there. So honestly, while we don't know too much about him, I am very excited to see what they do with the preservation path, as it does feel like, once again, we haven't really gotten anything for preservation in about a year now. And I also wanted to bring this up, which I've seen some people talk about this as well, is that in the version 3.4 livestream, if I'm not mistaken, Albert mentioned that we will be getting another free 5-star. He just got Archer. He did mention we're supposed to get another one. So in that scenario, I wonder if Dan Heng might actually be the free 5-star. I think that'd actually be really nice. It's a sustained character since he is preservation, so he'd be really good for those that are lacking sustains and don't really have too many options if he ended up being free. Of course, though, I do know Dan Heng is very popular, especially in China, so I do wonder if they'd make him a free character or not, but I do think it'd be just very nice if they did make him potentially the free character. I know that some would love March to be the free character. I personally don't see them doing that, honestly. I definitely think they'd make her more so a pullable character while making Dan Heng free if they had to pick between the two. But if he does end up being free, that would just be excellent for all players in my opinion, especially those that are lacking sustains, or even if you do have a bunch of sustains and you just really like Dan Heng, that'd be really nice as well. And of course, I'd love to know what you guys think. Do you guys think Dan Heng might be our next free 5-star character? Or do you think that it's going to be a different character down the line instead? I'm not really sure when Albert said we'd get this next 5-star by. I saw a couple of people in my Discord tell me that it's going to be before 4.0, but I'm not too sure the confirmation on this. I would have to go back and look at that live stream, which would be the 3.4 live stream. But regardless, we will be able to find this out in the 3.6 live stream, I'm sure. So near the end of 3.5, once we get the live stream for Evernight and now Dan Heng, I'm pretty sure then they will reveal whether or not he is free. It might be like a Dr. Ratio scenario in that case, where we know Dr. Ratio existed, but we didn't know he was free until the live stream. If I'm not mistaken, that's how it went during patch 1.6. But yeah, I'd love to know all of your thoughts on the new Dan Heng. Do you guys like his design? Are you kind of iffy on it? And lastly, do you think he might potentially be our next free character, or do you think they're holding that off for somebody else? I hope all of you though did enjoy this video. If you did, do make sure to subscribe, leave a like to support the video, and I hope to see you all next time. Peace.